Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Luckisha Townsend joining us here again. Excited to have her. Sad to hear it's her last show, but she's amazing as a financial coach. Trust the Process Financial Services from Columbus, Ohio. We are excited to have her back today. How are you?
I am great. I am excited, a little sad, but it's been a fun ride. I have
Yeah,
enjoyed,
you
having these conversations, and
well,
hopefully
same
somebody will call
here.
in today and
Oh,
we can, help somebody else out today.
oh
That would be
my
a lovely
goodness. Would
thing.
love to. 631-307-4010, 631-307-4010. Call in and they're like, well, who am I calling? Let's tell them who you are and what you do. Tell us a little bit
All right.
about your background. Thank you.
Right. I'm Luckisha Townsend. I'm out of Columbus, Ohio. I am a financial coach. What I do is I give people hope, give you that hope because I know when you can't see your way out, you lose hope. And when you lose hope, you lose focus, you lose direction, and you feel like you can't, see your way out. So I am here for that. You can go to my website at ttpcoachingservices.com. You can email me at ttpcoachingservices@gmail.com, and you can
Hmm.
also call me at 614-715-4619.
And again, call us today, 631
Yes,
307 4010 if you just want to ask a question,
yes,
because the work you're doing is so vital. So
yes,
many of us have had, will have financial issues. It's something that's very, difficult. And I think we're all going to go through it, but not everyone knows how to pull themselves out. And
yes,
this is where you come in and you've been open
yeah,
with us, talked about you went through divorce, you were trying
yes,
to raise your kids, right?
yes, right,
Right. And it
yes,
became difficult. And it's like, how do you pay
yes,
the bills? How do you do this all? And you hit a low. You
yeah,
you bounce back. You've been there. You can empathize as a financial coach
yes.
to people. And, what is the main reason why people don't reach out? What are they scared of?
Yes, a lot of people are scared because, they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed,
Yep.
and they don't want to deal with it. It's just like with a, like a medical situation. People don't go to the doctor because they don't want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, they think that ignorance is bliss. It is not bliss. I mean, and I will be honest with you. When it came to medical situation, yeah, I mean, because I'm very, very conscious. I ask questions. I do all these things, and so yeah, didn't like going to the doctor. But there was a time when I was having numbness down my arm, and I wasn't feeling right. And I'm also a CPR instructor, so I teach you how to save lives as well. And so I said, Keisha, you can't teach people how to save lives or and know the symptoms of, stroke, heart attack, and all these things, and you're not heed the warnings, And especially as women, we do that. And especially as women, as far as finances, we do that. We kind of, close our eyes and just, just hope it'll go away. And it doesn't go away. People, it will not go away. It won't. It's not going to magically disappear. It's just like, with the student loans, we was hoping that the government was going to make it magically disappear. And with some people, it did, thank God. Yeah, some people got, to get some of their, student loans forgiven, but everybody didn't. And then when it was time to pay, we all in panic because we were relying on someone else to get us out of debt, and to get us out of the situation we got ourselves into, you know. And that's a hard place to be, and it's so hard to, be in it by yourself. That's the thing, that's when it gets really, dangerous when you're in it by yourself. You feel like you can't talk to nobody because you feel like people don't understand or they will judge you. That's the biggest thing, judgment,
Yeah.
people feel judged, they think they're going to be judged, and so they don't do anything, and so they sit and suffer in silence. Well, I
Oh,
want to let you know you don't have to sit and suffer in silence anymore. I am here to definitely help. I'm here to give you that hope that it is possible. Yes, it's going to take some time. You might have been able to wander into the wilderness, quickly, but it's going to take a plan. It's going to take
yeah.
strategy. It's going to take some fortitude and some discipline to get you out of it
Mm.
because it's easy to spend money. especially with credit cards and stuff, I mean, they have made it so easy for us to lose our money, to give our money away.
Yeah.
But to, save it and to, get it
Mm-hmm.
back, that's where the work comes in. So this is why, you need to just, let that go, let that guilt and shame go and face what you're, dealing with and get the help that you need so that you can get out of it. And then you can show, if you have kids, so you can show them that, yeah, mom and dad was going through a hard time, but mom and
Mm-hmm.
dad was able to get out of it. They worked together, they developed a plan to get out of it, get out of it. And then you can start teaching your kids how to do the same so they don't repeat the same habits. Because we we learn from our other people's mistakes. We watch, how our families or our parents
Yep.
do things. And we end up, even without knowing it, we end up doing the same things or creating the same habits and behaviors that they displayed before us. So it's very important that, we get it so we can pass
Yeah.
it on, and
Yeah.
that's why I like, um, young people. That's who I really want to get that, demographic, because that's where it starts. We can get them when they're young, we can catch them in their 20s and, get them to realize that, you know, 30 and 40 years is coming.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so you have to be prepared for that. You can't just always live for today and, and not worry about tomorrow. And so that's why I wanted to go back and talk about the basics, what you want to do. Like I said, first, okay, let's say, okay, I need some help. Let's just admit it to ourselves. I need some help. I can't do this by myself. Okay, I'm gonna reach out. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we're gonna have a consultation. All right, so this is where I find out, if I can help you, if you want my help, if we're compatible, like me and Gio here, we found we're very compatible. So
Simpatico, or what do they say?
we
Yeah, yeah,
work
we're good. We
really
work,
well
yes.
together. So so in the consultation, that's what we want to find out. And then I also want to find out your why. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what is your why? What are your dreams? What did you see in 5 and 10 years that
Yeah.
you want for your life? And
Yeah.
once you say it out loud,
Good
you
point.
you, you know, you'll be like, oh, this is
Great
what I
point.
always wanted to be. This is where I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be, where I didn't have to worry about, spending money, or if I wanted to buy something that I like, oh, am I gonna have to take from here to buy this
Mm-hmm.
thing? And so once find out what you want to do, now let's make a plan to get you there.
Darn right.
So the first thing we want to do, we want to make sure that you have an emergency fund. This thousand
Okay.
dollars. We want you to have at least that much as we're starting out, because those little emergencies going to come up, like a car repair,
Yep.
something in the house, even like having to go to the doctor for a checkup, have lab work.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to have to pay a copay or something like that. So you have some
Yep.
money, take care of those little, minor things. And then
Mm-hmm.
after we get that, so we want to try and get there as quickly as possible. $1,000 isn't a lot, but
It's
it may
so
take a
true.
minute. So we might have to sell some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like this. I was reading this one story about this couple who, they decided that they was gonna get out of debt, and they started selling everything. They sold their furniture, they downsized their car. They
Yep.
said the kids was looking at them worried that they were gonna be next.
Oh my goodness.
That's how
No, no,
serious
no.
That's how serious they were, though. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's what it takes. You got to be serious. You got to do whatever it takes to get yourself out of this, because otherwise it's going to become a spiral,
Yep.
keep spiraling out of control.
It
And, a
must.
lot of people, that's where they are right now.
Yep.
I was just looking at the news where the
I
government
know.
has been hacked.
It's happening
And-
everywhere.
yes. And
I
so
got
this
an
is
email from Ticketmaster saying that they were hacked. I mean, a letter in the mail yesterday. Yep.
Yes. And so our money is, at risk all over the place, because, we're in this digital world now where we have to. I mean,
Oh
that's the
yeah.
way it's designed now. Like to get a phone, to, set up your to pay your bills, you got to go online, you got to put your credit card online, all these kind of
Right. Yep.
things. And
Mm-hmm.
so, we have to, be diligent about protecting our money. So after we, get that emergency fund, now
Mm-hmm.
we got to get our debts. Okay, so now we got to, where the rubber meets the road, we got to figure
Yes.
out how much debt we owe. I mean, it's sometimes it's, it's an eye opener, like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I ain't got myself. and this much debt. Oh
All
my
right.
goodness, you know.
Absolutely.
But once you see it, then you can like, okay, I see it,
Yeah.
I faced it. Okay, now what we gonna do about it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is where the plan comes into play. So
Okay.
we want to take all your expenses. See, what
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people forget is expenses and debt is two different things. Like
Okay.
expenses are, we got to pay gas
Yep.
bill, we got to pay electric. Those are things that we're not going unless you decide to go out in the wilderness and live in the nature. Those things you're gonna have to always have a bill. Cell phones are now they're not a luxury anymore. Before they used to be a luxury.
Nope.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now that's something that you have to have. And so we have to find out what those are. And then, okay, now what is our debt? Now, a car, that's a debt. Okay. If you have credit cards, you have student loans, all those things, those are your debts. That's what
Yes.
debt is. Okay.
I
And
hate
debt is
that.
something that you don't want to have long term. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's out of our hands to have debt,
Yes.
like a car payment. Okay, if you don't have $20,000 to go and put up down on a car, then you're gonna have to create debt, to have a vehicle. So, but that doesn't mean that you pay just your that minimum payment that they have set up for you, because basically the first couple years you're only paying towards the interest.
Got it.
Okay. And so, people have to realize that, okay, whatever, structure that they set up for you, you have to have a plan. Okay. I don't, if they set it up for 7 years, you want to try and see if you can pay it off in less than that. And I'll give
Yeah.
a story. I went back in, it was 2019, 2009. I had to get a new car. I had just gotten divorced. I think maybe a year or so been divorced. I needed another car. And when I went to them, I had, 800 credit score, all that, but they was wanting me to have a $400 payment, single mom. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want something like that. So I told them like to extend the payment out so
Mm-hmm.
that it was a comfortable payment that I felt I could do every month. And so, but what they didn't know, I had planned, I wasn't going to take 7 years. I had planned to take less than that. And I actually ended up paying it less than, I think it might have been 2.5, 3 years. Because what I did, this is one hack I tell everybody. Okay, whatever your payment is, let's say $200. Okay, that's what your, car payment is. We know that's no who has that nowadays. But anyway, say your payment is $200. What you want to do is you want to times that by 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then divide it by 12, and then whatever that amount is, you want to add extra and put that on your principal, because
Got
they
it.
always tell you if you pay an extra car payment, if you have pay an extra house note, you can knock off years off of your loan, right?
Yes.
So that's what I tell you to do first. So you start there, and then as you get extra money, you keep putting more and more on your principal. Now that seven
Beautiful.
years has come down, and now you can pay it off in like 3 years, like you wanted to, but they was wanting you to pay $400 something for.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's right. I heard that if you
Yes,
pay an extra mortgage payment per year, it cuts off, I forget
yeah,
how many years, but I got to Google that. That is a fact, right? I mean, think
yes,
about it, you're
yes.
paying principal towards it.
Yes. And what I tell people when it comes, especially to mortgage payment, a lot of people, they wait to, like, oh, I'm gonna do it like when I get my income tax. Okay. Well, instead of waiting on your income tax, if you do the math like I just told you, you can pay it monthly. So that's a less of amount that you're paying, at one time, instead of having to come up with that whole one, because if your mortgage payment is $1,000, yeah, it's hard to come up with an extra $1,000, to put on the principal. But then if you
Yeah,
divide that by 12, then see, that makes it a little more reasonable over a 12-month period.
absolutely.
Yeah. So you still
Absolutely.
is doing the same thing, but you're doing
Uh-huh.
it at a rate that's not going to be stressing you out and,
Yeah.
got you all worried about. So yes, that's how I have paid off things all, the last, what,
Yeah.
10 years now.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
Yes, and
hold
every
on.
time those are the things I tell people. Those are the first thing, those are the first nuggets, I give people that you can use to, help, pay off something sooner.
You've given us so many nuggets. And I love the fact you have to have a little cash stash. Stash of
Yes.
cash or cash
Yes.
stash. Yes.
Yeah.
Like yes, like
Yes. Yep.
I got into a car accident about thank God I had a little cash stash
Right.
about a month and a half ago. Turned out my
Or
car's old, so they wanted to total it, but I wanted to fix
of
it. And
course.
then I'm like, I still have to pay them. They pay me a little, but to fix it, it costs way more to keep it. And it
Right.
was like, well, I can't afford to buy the new car. I don't have the thousands of dollars to put down and start paying a lease and commit to a car payment. I'm like, what am I?
Right.
I'm like, it's worth the investment if I pay the extra money to fix the car, even though it sounds
Hmm.
like a lot, but to buy a new car right now. So in hopes it's going to be reliable still for another few years. So long
Right.
story short, and every time I get a paycheck, I put a little amount, like 100 or
Hmm.
50 into this fund, like into
Hmm.
another savings account. Next to my other
Right.
savings account, next to my
Yeah.
checking is the little bank. And that's
Right.
exactly what I used.
Yes. Oh, see, look at this.
Now I'm like, oh
See,
my God, I'm depleted. I'm feeling like it's naked and it's like bare.
right.
But you know what? All right. And you just pray something doesn't happen again soon, or you have to go. But yes, start. And even like for, then I'm thinking, well, the holidays are here. I should be putting a little more into that because it's like
Mhm.
5 more months from now. It's Christmas time. And that's,
Actually, it's only four.
come
It's August
on.
now.
What?
September, October, November, December. It's 4 months now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
It's
my
coming
gosh.
around. Yes. And
Oh,
just like Jill said, this is the time now to be planning for those holidays. Because when the holidays come, you want to be able to give your family members and stuff like that. What we call that is sinking fund. Go ahead and, establish how much what the first thing you want to do is establish how much you would plan on spending for the holidays. Okay. And then once you establish that, now start putting money towards that.
yeah.
And then
Interesting.
that way, when it comes time for you to do it, now you're not like, oh, I gotta, you pulling money from places
Yeah.
that you shouldn't be pulling the money from. So yes, definitely, there are strategies for everything, and this to keep us out of overspending or unnecessary spending or going online, but you're like, no, I got a plan. Nope, I can't buy that right now. And so just like I decided that, I had the money for my water heater. I had the money in there, but I didn't want to take my savings, down, cut it in half to pay off the water heater right now. Okay.
Hmm.
Because I'm retired now. And so what I decided to do, I'm like, okay, Keisha, okay, go back into that mode. Okay, you're going to cut out all unnecessary spending, and in 3 months, I want to have it paid off. So that's my plan.
Yep.
I'm going to pay it off in three
Uh-huh.
months. And so to be transparent, that's $7,000. So I'm
Got it.
planning on paying $7,000 off in 3 months.
Can I show you something right here? It's on my computer from the other day. You can't see it. Oh, because it's green. Well, it says debt. And I wrote
Yes.
down my Home Depot bill is $800. This Chase
Hmm.
account $600. Another Chase account is 600. The vacation that I charge, I have a little sheet here. And
Yes.
oh gosh, it's going in and out. It says, and I'm
Yeah.
putting it in front
I
of
think
my
it's because your background.
every day. Well, yeah, it's
Yes.
actually my son highlighted it in like a green square, so it's working weird, but I have it in
Uh-huh.
front of me. And so I'm like, all right,
Yes.
these are my bills and my debts that I need to pay off. And I'm going to cross out next week when I add a little towards it, but I want to see it
Yes.
in front of me at all times because
Yes.
I need to remind myself. And that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing. I like notes. Wish you could see.
Yes.
Not that it's really
There
important, but it's so
yes.
weird. There it is.
There it is. Yep.
Debt on top. It says
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
That's
And
so
see, and
important to know.
and see,
Yeah.
Jane has she that is her thing. She's a note person. She likes to, have it right there in front of her where she can see it all the time. And I think that's perfect because once if you put it where you can see it, that way you're like, okay, I got to take care of
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and then, the beautiful thing is that, with us, we like to, be patted on the back, I mean, that's just, part of our nature, and so when you can mark out or cross off something that you've done, oh my gosh, that just gives you that energy and that boost to
Yeah.
say, oh my God, I did it, oh, I paid off that one. Okay, I can pay off the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that's two gone. That's three gone. And now you want to tell somebody, go next door, I paid all
Yeah.
this, and
Right?
so and then it catches, it's like wildfire, it catches on, and they're gonna be asking, well, how did you do that? I want to know how you did that. Who did you talk to? And then you can say, hey, my financial coach is Luckisha Townsend. This is how I learned how to do this. And so it catches on, and you're helping other people. It's not something that, okay, what, that you want to hold on to and like, oh no, it's just something I did. You know, no, you want to help the next person because, it's better to give than to receive, that it
Yeah.
really is. And if you can, help someone else get out of a situation that they felt like they couldn't get out of, why not do that? And so
Yes.
that's what financial coaching is. It's all about is helping that person who right now feels like they can't help themselves. And
Aw.
so, so don't be afraid of it. Give us a call today, and one question, if like the last week, the one person I told them, okay, this week just to put $100 in cash in your pocket when you go out, going to the grocery store or wherever you're going, and know that that's all that you can spend, and see how much control you gain from knowing that this is all I can have to spend, and it's going to make you aware of, okay, well, I really need this, and this is a
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
So, okay, are you going to let your want outweigh your need?
Yeah.
Okay. And then now suffer that, okay, you didn't get what you needed because you decided that, oh, I wanted this thing over here, which you not necessarily need it right now. You didn't really need that right now,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
so true. Hold on, guys. 631-307-4010. Are you there? Give us a call. Come on. Call
Yep.
us now. Ask any questions you have because, oh my goodness, there is so much to financial wellness and getting by. And I
Yes.
love just reminding people you don't take it with you. So you don't
Yeah.
need to be a
Yep.
millionaire. People think they have to strive, strive, strive. It's okay to
Hmm.
get by. Most Americans are
Hmm.
just getting by, but it's always going to have
Right.
a little safety net. So you need a little of that for your
Right.
family.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Because we're all going to, hope, get, up in age. And so we need to have that cushion because, a lot of family members can't help you out. So we have to plan for, our retirement. We gotta, think about, those days because people are living longer, and so we have to be prepared, that we can't rely on the government, and all these things. We have to be wise in our spending. And once develop this plan that we're talking about, set a budget. A lot of people think budgets, restrict them. They tell you, you can't spend money. Actually, it shows you how to spend money because you
Yeah.
know where all your money's going.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know where all your money's going, and you'll find that, once you get in the habit of doing it, it's like, oh, okay. And then you're like, well, okay, I spent too much over here. Okay, now I know where I can cut back. Okay, because I was going out too much. I was going out 3 times a week, and that was what, $150. That $150 could
Yeah.
have went to paying off a debt that you had. So
Yes.
that's why a budget is very important, and that because it shows you where your money's going. You have
Mm-hmm.
track of your money because a lot of people they spend their money before it even hit their bank account because that's how they've been trained. You
Yeah.
know, and then before the Monday, you just got paid. Like what, today's Friday, you got paid on Friday, broke by Monday. I mean that should not be.
Yeah,
That
that
should
should
not be.
not be. You're right. We all have to manage our
Yes,
money better and be smarter, be safer.
yes.
And actually, unfortunately, we are almost out of time. Wow, gosh, we've been on for 26 minutes. Oh my gosh. I know we got
Yes.
a little bit of the jam there, but we're good. We're good. So tell me what else you want to share. Take another 3 minutes. Let's do it. Go.
All
What else?
right.
Come on. I want someone to call 631-307-4010.
Right.
Please, please call. We love your questions.
So now, once you get out of debt, okay, which would be great. Yes, yes. Now let's stay out of debt. All right. So now we want a fully funded emergency fund. All right. So now, this is between 3 and 6 or even 12 months. So in case that emergency come up, you lose your job. You have an illness that takes you away from the job where you're not getting paid. So you have a cushion that you can rely on. While you transition through these particular situations. All right, so then once you get that, now we can, start investing. Everybody talks about investing. They want to invest.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, yes, you want to invest, but if you want to get to like where you put in 15% is that, that magic number of investing, of your income, then you have to be out of debt to do that. So, I mean, once you get to 15%, 15% could be like $3,000 that you're, investing a month, depending on, what your livelihood is. And now you're investing in good, diversifying and, really now you can set yourself up to be ready for retirement. If you have children, you can start, really, trying to help them out with college. And then paying off that house early, and then where you're set where you can like live and give like nobody else, has ever done before, because now you're free, your money is free, it's yours, it's this though, it's not, setting aside to be given to someone else. And so now you can be generous, and with your family, with charities and different things, because now, you have figured it out, you have figured out how to, build wealth, how to stay out of debt, how to manage your money, and now you can pass that, that wisdom on to someone else.
Got it. Well, thank you for that. And we appreciate your wisdom, your time with us. And if someone wants to reach out, please tell us
Yes.
how.
Yes, you can reach out at ttpcoachingservices.com, ttpcoachingservices@gmail.com. Yes, send me those emails, and then you can always call me. I'm looking forward to talking to you, setting up that consultation at 614-715-4619.
Perfect. Thank you again. Pleasure having you here. Hopefully we'll connect
Yes,
again somehow, but you've been
yes.
amazing.
Oh,
And
thank you.
really your individual sessions, you also offer the 9-week
Yes,
session, right? The group class,
yes,
3,
yes,
6, 9, 12 month. There's so much that you have to offer. Visit our
yes,
website, say hi, tell her we sent you, and really
yes,
ttpcoachingservices.com. Luckisha Townsend, love you, girl. You've
yes.
been great.
Love you too.
Thank you so much. Have a great
Uh,
day. Bye.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.